Welcome back. It is the Razzball Fantasy Baseball Podcast. I am Beat joined by the one, the only, the Fantasy Master Lothario, Gray Albright. How's it going over there, Gray?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Happy Razzball Day. At least for those of us that celebrate it. I know you're not really among those of us that are on the fantasy football side, but still, it is Razzball Day. Drafts have started. I am still waiting to make my first pick. I'm on the intern, so we'll wait and see about that.
I have people reaching out to me about the Razzball, and I forward them on. I have no idea. People will DM me like, "Hey man, I can't make a pick. Could you pick for me?" And I'm like, No. I can't do that.
This is not an RCL.
If I wanted to, I couldn't. I feel like that's against the rules. Like betting on Major League Baseball games if you're a player.
Yeah, the league has never looked kindly on that, Gray. I think there's maybe a certain hits leader that got in trouble for that, and then a bunch of other stuff along the way just keeps getting there. But yes, in this regard, Emmanuel Clase has been placed on non-disciplinary leave through at least August 31st, along with Luis Ortiz, while MLB is investigating gambling charges. I believe Devin Williams and Seth Hurston are also joining this investigation to help explain some of their terrible outings this year, to help their future value. But what do you got here, Gray?
Man, I wish I would have known that Emmanuel Clase was being terrible in April for a specific reason. that would have made buying him in a trade so much better. Everyone was like, "Oh, Emmanuel Clase is he's terrible now. He can't pitch anymore in April." And then it was like, "Wow, he suddenly got so much better in May." It's really I wonder how that happened.
I think at some point we said, on the podcast, we're like, the numbers all look good. I don't know what's going on. That's what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people look at my advice and they're like, "Oh yeah, you said to sell Clase because he was no longer any good." And then he became good again. It's like, yeah, but I didn't really have all the information now, did I? I was slightly short of information when it came to why Clase was not good. Yeah, man. This is so crazy because this feels like on the outside, there's a couple things that could be going on. It could have been the entire Guardians. It's like Guardians of the parlay, and you have all these Guardian pitchers who actually are on the side at draft. They're working for DraftKings. Use promo code Guardians. It's like they could be just all possibly in cahoots here, or it was like Emmanuel Clase was like the basically the mafia don, and and Luis Ortiz was nothing more than like the Henry Hill here, the snitch who ratted out Clase. I mean, it might end here. It might go throughout it might be the whole rotation. I don't know, man. It's like so crazy because it doesn't feel like this is just going to be the tip of the iceberg, right? I mean, it feels like, it feels like this is the tip of the iceberg, that this is going to become a bigger, larger issue. As quickly as MLB can sweep it under the rug, I'm sure they will try to, at least. But yeah, this this is like, I mean, this feels like the beginning of a really huge issue where I don't know, man. I wonder if MLB has truly, I mean, if MLB and the Players Association get on the same page with which bets to allow, because I do feel like micro bets, which is why Luis Ortiz was in trouble, and what I'm assuming is why Emmanuel Clase is in trouble now. I don't know that for a fact yet on the Clase thing. As we record this, it's Monday. But I believe it's probably going to turn out to be micro bets, which is basically everyone betting on whether or not a guy is going to throw a ball or a strike for, the first pitch of an inning or the first pitch of the half inning or whatever. So if that's the case, I feel like MLB, I don't know. I doubt anyone does this, but it's like MLB and the Players Association can just get on the same page and say, like, no more micro bets. Like, you can bet on baseball, but you can't bet on whether or not a guy's going to throw a strike, because that is so easily, exploited by a player that, like, I don't know if any other sport is that easy for a player to be able to do something nefarious where, and I don't even know also, like, I don't know if Emmanuel Clase, like, I'm assuming Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase acted alone, but we don't even know that for a fact. I mean, all we know is, at least with Luis Ortiz, all we know is that it's they're investigating him for throwing a pitch out of the strike zone. What we don't know is if it goes any deeper than that. Like, if there is, they're both Dominicans, and if there is if there's like a criminal enterprise, say, in the Dominican Republic that happened to, David Ortiz, who was, the pride of the Dominican, he was even shot at when he was down there. So if, like, someone is in, taking Clase's, like, cousin or Luis Ortiz's sister, they're pulling them aside and they're like, hey, I'm going to murder you if your brother doesn't throw a ball in the dirt. I mean, we don't know if that's the case, obviously. I'm just doing conjecture, but you don't know how deep this runs. It could potentially be a situation where these guys are not necessarily, like, have a situation where they're benefiting, it's not like I think the assumption is it's like Emmanuel Clase puts on a fake mustache and goes up to the casino window and places a $50,000 bet. We don't know if that's the case at all. Like, it could be someone is holding, like, their family for ransom, or they're threatening them with murder, and they're like, hey man, if you don't throw a ball in the dirt, we're going to kill someone in your family. Like, that could be what's going on. We have no idea. And I don't think MLB is ever going to get to the bottom of it. Like, they're just going to see a guy who happens to, like, throw a ball in the dirt and be like, well, I guess he was, gambling. We can't find receipts of that gambling, but it seems like he was doing something illegal. Like, we don't, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to, like, I wouldn't trust MLB to investigate this, though, and try and figure it out. I'm reminded of, A-Rod, when he got busted for steroids, they were going after him, MLB that is, they were going after him, and they were using a guy who was blackmailing him down in Florida. I forget the guy's name who was blackmailing him, but they were using basically a blackmailer to get A-Rod because they wanted to, quote unquote, clean up the sport for Bud Selig to look good as he went out the door and Rob Manfred came in. So, I don't put anything past MLB on their investigations and how, like, they're going to try and make MLB look as good as they can possibly look. And if that means, stopping the investigation at Clase and Luis Ortiz, and that's where they're going to stop the investigation. And I don't know if, like, because there's been a lot of players who have come out and said, like, hey, I've gotten death threats because of people gambling. I think Lucas Giolito said this, and other players have come out and said that. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, there's people who are looking at Emmanuel Clase and have if a criminal organization is able to get to his family and be like, hey, man, throw the ball in the dirt or we're going to kill somebody. What's he going to do? I mean, there's no way of saying, like, oh, that's what was going on. It's like, even if he says that, what's MLB going to say? Like, oh, well, we're putting players' lives at danger. So, this is a bigger issue than Emmanuel Clase. No, of course they're not going to say that. MLB is going to be like, well, Clase was gambling. So he's suspended for life and let's move on. So anyway, pick up Cade Smith for your fantasy league.
Yeah, so this has been Baseball Criminal Minds. Thank you for listening. We'll get back to fantasy.
Oh, actually, hold on. There's a trade. A trade just Beadon, you actually just got traded to True Crime Junkies. Wow. Oh my God, this is crazy. What do we do if you get traded? Oh.
Well, I don't know what this we is if I get traded. It's just you then.
Oh man, this becomes fantasy baseball / conspiracy theories with Gray Albright.
There you go, everybody. Gray will talk to himself for an hour and a half, and believe me, he won't even notice that I'm gone for at least a few shows. The only thing that we're missing is
actually shocking. Jeff Passan just said B-Don was traded to True Crime Junkies. Wow. Wow. It was real. Honestly, I thought we had a great run.
We've made it longer than any other Razzball podcast pairing, Gray. It could only go on for so long. The Tim Donaghy of baseball is going to come out. So we're just going to see how this goes moving forward. But yeah, I think it's Cade Smith as the replacement. Hunter Gaddis and Nick Enright have also been pretty good. So they could go in a few different directions in regards to the reliever. Let's move on to some trades, Gray. Let's get into some fantasy baseball stuff. Josh Naylor was traded to Seattle for Brandon Garcia and Ashton Izzy. In 93 games, Naylor has 11 home runs, 11 stolen bases. He's hitting 292, 360, 447. His home run, the fly ball last year was the career best at 18.6. This year it is 9.6 in Arizona. If I put the over under at 9.6, which is what he's been doing all season for Seattle, Gray, are you taking the over or the under?
Under. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about anyone going to the Mariners, right? Because Cal Raleigh has become the exception that proves the rule, whatever that idiom means. I don't actually know. But Cal Raleigh seems like he's been T-Mobile proof, we'll say. Julio Rodriguez has moments where he seems like he can hit the ball out of the park. A few and far between. Randy Rosarina has been okay. It's 1 month of season, right? J-Rod's been pretty solid in September of seasons. I looked up the park factors, and it doesn't. This isn't anecdotal. T-Mobile is not good for power. It's just not. Josh Naylor, for whatever reason, he seemed to become a different hitter this year. I don't know why. I'm not 100% sure. Not bad necessarily. He has become more like Freddie Freeman than Freddie Freeman, quite frankly. But he's become more Freddie Freeman than he was previous years. Now, he's become this 15 to 20 homer, 15 to 20 steal, low strikeouts, great average. He's hitting 292. He has 11 homers, 14 steals as of the recording of this. I think this weekend, his first weekend with the Mariners, I believe he stole, I want to say 3 bags this weekend. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of absurd what he's doing this year. It's nothing like we've seen from him before. I don't see how that's going to change in Seattle, because the park alone leads me to believe that, the best case scenario here for Naylor is him becoming, a better average hitter with steals, and just totally, foregoing power, I guess. I don't know why this is. Like, nothing in his numbers really leading into this year really stands out as it being like, oh, okay, so this is always who he was, and he's just now showing it. No, not really. I mean, his fly balls are relatively the same as previous years. His line drives are relatively the same. His ground balls, his hard hit. I don't know. I don't know really where this is coming. I mean, there is a case to be made that anyone, I say in the preseason, I believe I call it the pitch clock 12, which is because of the pitch clock, anyone can add 12 steals to their bottom line because of the pitch clock. So, he's added some speed. I don't know if he's necessarily faster. He doesn't look it. He's like, if you see him running, he doesn't seem like a fast guy, but he's added steals just because it seems like he wants to run. He wants to steal bags for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah, I mean, the numbers at the end of the day, like, his numbers seem to be top 5-ish first baseman, even maybe a top 3 first baseman, because first basemen are just so bad after Nick Kurtz, obviously. Yeah, so, Josh Naylor's been fine. He's just not really the guy I think you expected when you drafted him.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been a little different in regards to what you've gotten from him. Still, it's not been unuseful, but it's been different. He is very slow. I mean, to your point, I don't know exactly where the steals come from. He is 15th from the bottom of the sprint speed rankings, so just the bottom of the bottom in regards to steals, which really just shows you it doesn't matter. Anybody can steal bases, apparently. And yeah, I mean, with the clock plus the limited throwovers, it has become a lot easier. 14 steals now is crazy. I mean, it's his career high by 4, and it's kind of weird. It is a terrible park. It's the worst ballpark back factor for lefties. It's not quite as bad on home runs strictly, but as an overall ballpark factor, it's at the bottom, just as bad as it could get. So yeah, don't love this move, Gray, but again, I don't know what you can really do at first base, because it's been a little bit ugly, and there's not a whole lot out there on the wire. I guess, would you take, let me see if I can come up with some names. If you're looking at Naylor on your team, would you rather have Naylor rest of season, or since you brought him up, Freddie Freeman?
I would go Naylor.
Okay. Naylor or Matt Olson?
I'd go Matt Olson.
Okay. So it feels like he's definitely dropping a few spots, at least per the player rater, by just moving to Seattle.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably Nick Kurtz. I mean, who's above Nick Kurtz at this point? Nick Kurtz had like a full season's worth of Freddie Freeman stats in one game on Friday, right? I mean, who's going? Nick Kurtz, Matt Olson, Josh Naylor, Freddie Freeman. Is there anyone I'm missing? I don't think so. Is there?
No, I mean, the people above Kurtz right now on the player rater are Pete Alonso,
right?
Bellinger, and Vlad.
Right, Vlad's in there. Yeah. No, actually, I'd probably put Pete Alonso above Matt Olson. Yeah, I'd probably say Kurtz, Pete Alonso, Matt Olson, Naylor, Vlad, Freeman. Off the top of my head, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have Freeman lower. I'd probably have like Bellinger, as I mentioned, should be up there. Michael Bush, Torkelson, but Torkelson is a specific kind of bat. Same with Matt Olson. Michael Bush has been awesome. I have no problem taking him over Freeman. But yeah, wow, I mean that's kind of the list.
Yeah, Freeman's really fallen.
He's been just tanked. I mean,
yeah, he's really been terrible. I am just looking at the player radar now. Yeah, he's been really bad. I drafted him, but some people did, I guess.
Yeah, and there's definitely possibilities that he's going to get some days off down the stretch. So even more reason not to especially have Freeman ranked high rest of season. Bryce Harper also obviously among the first basemen.
Tanked.
Yeah, he's tanked as well, but I would still put him high if we're just looking at the rest of the season because of what he could do in a week, just like Kurtz has done in a weekend. Tristan English to take over at first base in Arizona following this move, Gray. He has 11 home runs. He's hitting 341 in AAA. That sounds interesting, but are you interested?
Yeah, no, that does sound interesting. Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's made contact for the last few years. He is older, though. I mean, he's not – I don't even know if we can chalk this up to being like, oh, he lost the 2020 pandemic season, and that's why he's so much older. He looks like a quad A player. Like, he legitimately he looks like he's probably, at best, Pavin Smith with like maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know what you're going to get out of his average because Tristan English, that is, because I mean, he was hitting for a good average, but he was also 28 years old in AAA. So maybe he might only be like a 250 hitter in the majors. I mean, he looks like he can make contact, but it depends on what the ball's going to do. Yeah, I'd say at best NL only. And even there, it's like it depends on needs, really.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot in his package. A little bit of power and good contact. But as you mentioned, he's 28 years old. He's old. Even with that 2020 season that we give people, like, he's still old. He should not have been spending 3 years at AAA. It definitely does feel like quad A bat there, but in only I'd take a look, and maybe in a deep 15 team league, it's worth a possibility because he was hitting at least for a high average, but that really doesn't mean a whole lot at 28 years old in AAA. Ryan McMahon goes to the Yankees. They send Griffin Herring and Josh Gross to Colorado. Just what Colorado needs, just more arms. That'll probably not work out. That's always awesome for the pitchers. Ryan McMahon should slot in every day as an everyday third baseman for the Yankees. Probably hit 6 to 8 most days. Would you say that his value is up, down, about the same?
I'm just going to briefly look at Ryan McMahon's splits. Oh my God! What is that? I'm sure someone in the Yankees organization looked to see what Ryan McMahon has done in away games in his career because it's not good. Yeah, I think the Yankees probably got him for his glove, which is fine, but. I don't think for fantasy this is a great move for him. Even if Yankee Stadium is probably one of the better landing spots he could end up at. With Aaron Judge out for 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on how his elbow recovers. Once he's back, the lineup is better, obviously, for the Yankees than the Rockies, but The park is a little bit worse. Clearly, Ryan McMahon always had a little bit of an issue with away games with his bat. There's a little bit, you could chalk that up a little bit to the fact that every hitter is usually a little bit worse in away games. So, Ryan McMahon will probably be okay. I wouldn't expect, great things, but for AL only, yeah, it's probably, it's obviously you have to, you bid on him. For mixed leagues, I think he's probably 15-team mixed league or deeper. I don't really see the 12-team mixed league for him at this point, unless he gets hot, which, I think he's been okay since he's been with the Yankees, but yeah, it's small sample size, so it doesn't really mean much. I don't really think there's a great move for his fantasy value, but maybe not as terrible as people think. But, it's like I said, still deep mixed leagues and AL only. Other than that,
Yeah, I'll give you the home road splits here in just a second, but I will say there is something to leaving Coors as well, because you don't have to deal with seeing balls like move different at home than they do on the road. Like, because of the air there, the ball literally moves different there than anywhere else. So it's also kind of a neutralizing thing. He's probably not a 189, but he's also probably not 257. 11 home runs at home, 5 on the road. The power may be a little bit where he's going to lose some, but Yankee Stadium is great if he can just yank it down the line. So we'll see in regards to the power. I kind of feel like this just kind of meets him in the middle to where he already is a little bit. It just makes him a little less, peaks and valleys.
Yeah, that's probably true. He probably becomes a 225 hitter, more or less, in and out of Yankee Stadium. It's fine. I mean, maybe 215 away, 235 at home. He always had his issues, to be honest.
For sure. I mean, he's definitely not a perfect player. If it wasn't trade season, we probably wouldn't be spending this much time on him. So let's move on, Gray. It seems like Orlando Arcia is taking over for him at third base. Warming Bernabel. I hope I got that right. I'm sure I did not. I apologize. It was called up as the corresponding roster move when McMahon left. Yankiel Fernandez is also seeing some more time at DH. Warming was hitting he was hitting 301 with 8 home runs, 5 stolen bases, 14% strikeout, 14% walk. And then Yankiel was hitting 284 with 13 home runs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these three, kind of replacement pieces as we see Colorado shift into we really, really don't care mode for the rest of the season?
I like how I like when a team trades away one guy and somehow they grow 3 new guys. It's like a gremlin situation. Yeah. Who fed Ryan McMahon after midnight, and why do we now have a warming Barnabel on our team? They're all kind of iffy. I mean, warming Barnabel hit a homer on Sunday, and his, he looks like he makes good contact. So I'm actually a little bit interested in him. Not quite for mixed leagues yet. So still we're looking at NL only. Orlando Arcia feels like, that feels like a guy from like the Bud Black, like Bud Black wrote on a notepad somewhere in the Rockies clubhouse that like you must play terrible vets. I don't know why. Arcia is even on the team. Like, not only should he not be on the team, like he should have been DFA'd and playing in Korea by now. Like, why? Like, what is he doing? But not only is he on the team, but he's starting for the Rockies. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's just terrible. Because warming Barnabel can play third too. So it's like, why would Arcia play third? I don't know. I also, speaking of the Rockies, I saw Michael Toglia I dropped him when he went to the minors like a month or 6 weeks ago. I dropped him in an NL only league. And then he came back, and I was like kicking myself because he had that really hot like stretch when he first came back. I think he hit like 3 or 4 homers that first week, but now he's like 1 for 50. So whoever picked him up, you're welcome. Enjoy the Michael Toglia experience.
That has been my Michael Toglia experience as somebody who owns him in dynasty leagues. Yeah, that's basically what Michael Toglia has looked like. But when he looks good, Gray, he looks really good. So, there's that going for him. And yes, I don't know why Orlando Arcia is still playing, and specifically why he's playing every day for a team not playing for anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not really interested.
But it's like you would think like the Rockies are clearly there's a void at the top of the organization where the Monforts, where Dick Monfort and like it's basically the owner is Dick Monfort, and he has like 17 terrible sons right underneath him. Imagine a pyramid. It's Dick Monfort, then 17 terrible sons. Then underneath that is the actual team. But it doesn't seem like anything is like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think like the Monforts, I don't think they're really that like involved in the day-to-day organization. So if you're Warner Jay Schaefer, the new Rockies manager, that's a good trivia question. If you're Warner Jay Schaefer and you're like, hey man, no one's paying attention, I can do whatever I want, wouldn't you try and do something that was good? Why would you do Orlando Arcia? No one's paying it. No one's like, hey man, you have to play Orlando Arcia. I can't imagine Dick Monfort is saying that. So I'm guessing Warren J. Schaefer is like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. I'm going to do something real smart and put in a guy who shouldn't even be in the major leagues anymore and start him. I'm going to start him. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway.
Yeah, when you can get a guy who hits 163, you got to play him all the time, Gray. That's just what you got to do. Obviously, let's move on to the next trade here. Ahmed Rosario moves from Washington to the Yankees.
Big trade.
Yep. I mean, I'm
starting to actually think your trade to True Crime Junkies might have been the biggest trade of the day.
I mean, we should have just kept going with that, Gray. I think that was more interesting. The Conspiracy Theory Baseball Podcast. I think we might actually have something there. We've tried this for a while now.
Emmanuel Clase's family member. I'm just saying, it could be true. Okay.
Yeah, we spent a good amount of time on that conspiracy theory. But Ahmed Rosario, he's just a utility infielder. Not much has changed here, right, Gray?
No. There's a meme it's like a picture of a record player, and it says, is broke but won't cost you much to try and fix. And that's what the Yankees seem to be doing with their with their trade so far. I don't know what the Yankees think they're doing, but it's a little weird when it's like, oh yeah, we're the New York Yankees. Come on down and see the team play. We now have Ahmad Rosario and Ryan McMahon. Like, what is that? Like, what? What? It's terrible. I don't know, man. Yeah, Ahmad Rosario is I guess the Yankees felt like they needed defense. So, I mean, he's a utility player. I don't even see him having much value in AL only league. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Yankees just decided they weren't going to spend since Aaron Judge is hurt, and this is just their way of appeasing the fans by doing these minor little trades. That's the Cubs' general game plan and everything. So it maybe the Yankees are just learning from the Cubs on how to just kind of drag along your fans. Although the Yankees have been pretty good at it since 2000s, just dragging people along in the fan base.
I will say it's we're recording this on Monday, July 28th. So, big trades could still happen.
Oh, yeah. We definitely could see a few more happen, and we'll cover them next week if they do. Moving on, Randall Grichuk goes to the Royals. He's hitting .240 this year with 7 home runs. May not have a full-time role. I don't think there's a whole lot here, Gray. What about you?
Randall Grichuk. No, I don't. The only thing I really know about Randall Grichuk, see, I try and keep one little factoid about every player, so this way I can make a joke about them. And the only thing I know about Randall Grichuk is he was the guy who was mad that his teammates were bat flipping. So that's all I really know about Randall Grichuk. So I don't know. Maybe if Vinny Pasquantino is doing a little too much bat flipping, we could have a situation. But yeah, I don't think Randall Grichuk's really much for fantasy.
Yeah, can't have fun, Gray, around Randall Grichuk, obviously. That's not what the game is for. I think the actual maybe interesting part of this is it opens up DH for Adrian Del Castillo, who likely has catcher eligibility in your league. In 28 games, he has 7 home runs, 299, 412, 607 in the minors. I mean, he does have some legitimate power if he kind of just get on a roll here and he gets everyday DH time.
Yeah, Adrian Del Castillo. Yeah, I agree. I think he's. I mean, it's good because he has catcher eligibility. Really, I mean,
that's why we're talking about.
Yeah, ADC. It's easy. Yeah, he's fine. I think he's probably like a second catcher in a 15-team mixed league. I would be happy to have him there. In a 12-team mixed league with one catcher, you're pushing it to try and make him a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. 12-team 2-catcher, I could see giving him a try if he's going to play every day like he has been, but that's strictly based on playing time. Adam Frazier moving on to the Royals. He has 3 home runs, 7 stolen bases. He's hitting .255 this year. Probably does have a full-time job for now. What are your thoughts? Is anything outside of AL only?
No.
What about?
I don't even know if he's AL only though. I mean, maybe if you're really like desperate, I guess it's not great though. I'll be honest, your team has not gotten better if you needed Adam Frazier for your MI. So yeah, there's that.
There is definitely that. He could be second base. Second base is pretty hideous, even in a mixed league. But yes, probably not helping. How about Liover Peguero, who is recalled as the corresponding move to Frazier moving on? Any interest in Peguero?
No, not really. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that like his role becomes, for NL only. Okay, sure. It's also, I mean, it's kind of like every year Adam Frazier spends some time with the Pirates. So it's kind of sad to see him go, I'm sure, for Pittsburgh fans. Anyway, Peguero, I mean, right now, like it looks like the Pirates are selling, which they should be. So if Tommy Pham is out the door, or Nick Gonzalez, or even O'Neill Cruz, or one of the bigger names, I mean, I guess that's their only big name, really. But if someone leaves, maybe Peguero gets more of a playing time situation. So then he becomes a little bit more interesting. But I mean, even then, I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, he doesn't make great contact. He has some power, a little bit of speed. So, power and speed plays. So if he gets a bigger job for NL only, great. For right now, I don't even think he's NL only, though.
Yeah, I agree. Gregory Soto goes to the Mets. That doesn't really do anything as he joins the bullpen and just he's not going to be closing. He's probably third or fourth in line, so nothing really to do there. Chris Paddock moves to the Tigers. That was a move that happened right before we started the podcast, Gray. I mean, he should, in theory, join the rotation, but is that something that you're interested in? He did have one phenomenal month this year, and the rest has been awful.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I mean, he's not even like AL only. He's probably already rostered because he's not switching leagues. So I don't really see him really valuable at all for a mixed league. I mean, it maybe in a streaming situation if he had like two good matchups in a week, possibly if you're looking for a 2-start guy. But other than that, I wouldn't mess with him in a mixed league. I mean, he hasn't been good for quite some time now.
No, he has not. Like I said, he had one really strong month where you were like, is Chris Paddock really back? And just as you were about to buy in and say, yes, he was not. So we will just let him sit there. Like you said, if you get the right 2-star or you go up against the Rockies, not in Coors, that's fine, but not a whole lot of use there. Carson Wisenhunt was called up by San Francisco as we move on from trades into call-ups, Gray. Are you interested in Carson Wisenhunt in AAA this year? He had 82 innings, 4.78 ERA, 1.52 whip, 21.9% strikeout rate, and a 12.8% walk rate. Sorry, that is the wrong guy. I gave the wrong stats. Carson Wisenhunt had a 4.42 ERA with a 1.33 ERA, or with 1.33 whip, with 21% strikeouts and a 6.8% walk rate. Sorry, that was wrong.
That was wrong as well.
No, that was right. I'm sorry, I messed up the first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Carson Wisenhunt. I look at his numbers and I feel like at some point he sort of fell off the map when it came to being a highly touted prospect. Like even looking at past prospect posts from Itch, like he wrote him up in 2024, and then at some point in like the last year, Wisenhunt just hasn't been able to put it together. And by put it together, I mean I don't think his command has really been there. I think that's been his biggest problem. And command for a rookie is that's the worst possible scenario, because like rookies are already going to struggle with nerves and possibly and leading that to bad command. And then you throw in a guy who already has bad command, and it could really spell disaster. So I'm not interested, but I'm interested. Well, I'll say I'm interested enough to watch. I want to see him pitch. I'm excited about like what he could do. He's got like a Bugs Bunny changeup that's just completely nasty that I would like to see, but am I going to pick him up? No, I'm probably not picking him up in mixed leagues, at least yet. I mean, if he looks really that good in his first start and he stays in the rotation, then yeah, I mean, then the Giants do have a spot for Wisenhunt to possibly stay. So, yeah, I'm interested enough to watch, and maybe if he looks good, maybe pick him up after or going forward. But as of right this second, when he hasn't pitched yet in the majors and his numbers look so scary from his minor league numbers, like he looks like he can strike out people, but he does not look like he knows where the strike zone is. So that's a real big concern. So I'm going to watch. I'm going to see, maybe we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm not picking him up in mixed leagues. NL only, you do what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the prospect knowledge that Itch has, but just kind of looking through the numbers, it really seems like this year in particular, they were like, you have to get the walks down. And so that's what he's done. But that came with the K's coming way down, because before this, he was a very high strikeout percentage pitcher. This year, it's dropped dramatically. The walk rate has come down with it, which is great. but it seems like they really focused him on that. They were really trying to find him a third pitch because, as you mentioned, he is primary changeup. He throws a sinker change, move the same direction. I can see why they would want a third pitch for him, but sometimes that third pitch takes some time to figure out, especially when it's opposite of everything that you throw. So I'm interested in him just to see what it looks like, but probably not grabbing him outside of it only, as you mentioned. And even then, spot start, and let's see how this looks. The numbers I gave you previously were for Hurston Waldrep, who is being called up by the Braves. He is a fastball slider splitter guy this year. If you didn't remember the numbers, he had a 4.78 ERA, 1.52 whip, 21.9% strikeout rate, and a 12.8% walk rate. He's getting, I believe, the start today, but the Braves also picked up Eric Fetty, who was DFA'd by St. Louis. And the Braves also added Dane Dunny, who I believe is going to the bullpen, but has been a starter in the past. What are your thoughts on Hurston Waldrep and Eric Fetty joining the Braves rotation?
Yeah, the Braves also added Carlos Carrasco. No, that's not a joke. They really did.
Oh, they really did? They were really adding Carlos Carrasco?
They added Carlos.
I didn't even know his arm was still attached, Gray.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. And they added also Tom Glavine. No, they don't. I don't know what the Braves are doing necessarily, but on the bright side, I don't think they know either. So it's kind of whatever. I saw Waldrep. I think I had him in a NL only league. And I don't know if I dropped him or maybe I still have him, but I wouldn't even start him in NL only until until he showed us something, because he's another guy where his command just looks like a total mess as well. And he doesn't I know Jacob Mizorowski's command was a bit of an issue when he was in the minors, but he sort of figured that out when he was still in the minors. These guys don't seem like, well, you mentioned Wisenhunt's command looked a little bit better this year, but Waldrop's command still looks like a mess. So I don't know where this is going. I would be shocked if Waldrep succeeds outside of maybe a lucky start or two. But yeah, I would not mess with them. Not at least in mixed leagues. Watch and see. Maybe he's figured something out. Maybe the Braves coaches can figure out something with his stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. He doesn't look like he's ready for the major leagues.
Gray, I'm gonna lose a bet that you were gonna say Tuki Toussaint this podcast now. I'm just I got to pay that out now.
The good news is in a day that has been really bad for Clase, he did win $5 from B-Don because I didn't mention Tuki Toussaint.
Yep, that my job change over to crime. It's a big news day, Gray.
Welcome back to True Crime Junkies with B-Don.
Let's move over and SAGNOF it up, Gray. Let's talk about it trade edition real quick before we jump into some of the situations. Who are some of the trade candidates that you would potentially either be looking to move before they get traded, or that you would maybe hold off a week on trading for until the trade deadline passes?
I don't know if that's a feasible strategy to try and trade a closer who everyone knows is about to get traded. But I guess Ryan Helsley, Fairbanks, Bednar, they seem like they're guys that are on the move. The Orioles currently have no closer. Sir Anthony Dominguez, I think, is closing for the Orioles right now, or at least the favorite to. If I were the Orioles, I would trade Dominguez too. I think any team, like you look at the Marlins, I would trade, whoever wanted anyone. I was talking to Craig Mish this weekend on his show on Saturday, and I was saying like I asked him if Sandy was getting traded, and then he was saying that whatchamacallit, the bullpen, any of the guys are really available there for a trade. And to that I'll say I feel like any non-contenders bullpen is really up for grabs. So anyone who, if Aroldis Chapman didn't get hurt on Sunday, I would say he probably was up for grabs. Anyone in the Marlins up for grabs. Anyone in the Rangers, I'm not going to go through every team, but every non-contender, probably their closers up for grabs. Barring very few guys. So look at like getting, that's how I sort of lucked into Cade Smith in our RCL league. I picked up Cade Smith on Saturday, not because I am Clase's bookie, but because I knew Clase was on the trade market. That trade ain't happening, by the way. But I picked up Cade Smith as, just a flyer because I figured, he could become the closer in Cleveland. And so I would, if you're out there looking to grab a closer right now, I would try and get like Phil Maton maybe behind Helsley, that is. Maybe Edwin Uceda, maybe Dennis Santana. I would just take a flyer on a guy. I don't know if it's never clear who is definitely getting traded. I mean, some of these guys sound like they're getting traded. They might not. Who knows? But I would guess Helsley's moving. I would guess Bednar's moving. But, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, has Johan Duran ever not been rumored to be traded and
exactly
he just stays in place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume he's getting traded, but again, I don't know, in which case, they've got all sorts of people who could fill in for him. So I really don't understand why he's even there still, other than, he is 27, but coming up on arbitration, or he's probably in arbitration already. It is the Twins, so I'm surprised he's still there. Like you said, everybody basically is available if they're not pushing. Then again, the Braves may go out and trade for everybody, even though they're 17 games back in the division and 12 games back in the wild card. Who knows? The Yankees, Gray, Devin Williams, he hasn't blown a save necessarily, but he's not really had clean outings either. Do you think they're looking to potentially make a move, and who would that be? Again, if you're just looking to back him up or find some potential saves down the stretch.
I don't. It's impossible to say. I would say because like the Yankees, what if the Yankees go out and get Ryan Helsley? Then everyone moves back. I would assume. I would assume Weaver becomes the 7th inning guy and Williams becomes the 8th inning and Helsley goes to the 9th. I mean, I would assume. I mean, who knows? I would say the same probably with Fairbanks or I don't know, Bednar, I guess, but Yankees are asking for trouble if they get Bednar. But anyway, I mean, it's impossible to say. I don't know. If I were the Yankees, I would hope Devin Williams could figure it out, to be honest. That would be my number one priority was getting Devin Williams correct because the Yankees are better with Williams in the 9th, but I don't know.
Yeah. I agree, but if you're looking around, Luke Weaver, Tim Hell, Jonathan Loaizaga, those are the three that I think would be in line to potentially move up if the Yankees don't make a move, or if they and they also removed Devin Williams. So a lot of thinking about what happens there. The Dodgers, they still haven't really settled on a closer without Tanner Scott. They may not settle on one, but who are some of the guys that you like there in Dodgerland to grab saves, Greg?
Blake Trinan, I believe, is the guy. If it's not him, then it may be Vesia. We'll see a save or two. My guess is they go out and they get someone. I would be shocked if the Dodgers don't add a closer or at least a top middle reliever or something. And also with with the Guardians and Clase. it wouldn't shock me because the Guardians are selling. It wouldn't shock me to see the Guardians sell Cade Smith to like the Dodgers, and then Gaddis becomes the closer in Cleveland. That wouldn't shock me at all. Cade Smith would be a great get for a contender. Anyway, yeah, the Dodgers will be buying someone, but if not, I would say Blake Trinan would be the only guy I would roster right now. Or Vesia if you're really struggling.
So you mentioned Vesia. They seem to use him kind of more as the firefighter, so that could get some saves, that could not. Ben Casperius got a save this week. Jack Dreyer's been in the mix. Alexis Diaz just came back. So those are all names to consider. But like you said, it's probably Trinan and Vesia that are going to get them. It's going to be a little bit all over the place, though. Let's move over to Arizona, Gray, where I don't even know anymore. Also, everybody in this bullpen could be on the move. But until that happens, Gray, who are you picking up if you have to pick up somebody for Arizona's closer role?
I think I have Kevin Ginkel in one league, and each week I've struggled with actually moving him into my lineup, and I haven't been able to do it, I don't think, yet. I really need saves in one league where I have him, and I still have Ginkel on my bench. I have not been able to pull the trigger on starting him. I have no faith in them at all. I guess Graveman is also there, but yeah, I wouldn't mess with the Diamondbacks unless you were really desperate, and even then, you got to be really desperate.
Yeah, you got to be desperate. If it is, it's Kevin Ginkel. I think for now I agree, but it's not a great situation. Let's talk about waivers, Greg. Give the people some bats.
Oh, okay. So Matt Shaw has been really hot, hitting out of the 9-hole for the most part, but has stolen a couple bags and hit a couple homers in the last week, hitting 400. Also, Tyler O'Neill must think it's opening day. I don't know, but he's been hitting for power in the last week. I think he's hitting over 400 for the week, too. Colson Montgomery, White Sox shortstop, has been hitting well. Ramon Laureano has been hitting well. Bryce Matthews had a multiple homer game and has been hitting well outside of that. Andrew Benintendi had a multiple homer game and has not really been hitting outside of that. Josh Bell has been hot. He probably wants to get traded per usual. Spencer Horwitz, Josh Jung, Giancarlo Stanton. Beautiful Giancarlo. He's been hot. Josh H. Smith hit a homer on Sunday. He's been doing well. Mike Tuckman hitting at the top of the White Sox order, which sounds pretty bad, but he has been hot. And Bryson Stott and Ronnie Mauricio, Mets. He had a good game on Sunday, and he's been somewhat hot outside of that. So there's some names.
All right, and on the pitching side, some streaming options for you. Brian Bayo, if he's still available in your league, he probably shouldn't be, but he's at Minnesota. Patrick Corbin at the Angels, at Seattle. Ryan Nelson at Detroit. Max Scherzer versus Kansas City. Jose Soriano versus Texas. Logan Allen versus the Royals. Cal Quantrill at Seattle. Aaron Savale versus at the Angels. Cade Horton versus the O's. And SWR versus Boston and at Cleveland. There's some streaming options for you. If you have any more questions, you can find us on Twitter. I am at RazBeaton. Gray is the owner of the at RazzBowl account. You can find us on youtube.com/Razzball Fantasy, or you can find us in the comment section on RazzBall. Happy Razzball Day for everybody drafting. If you won in that contest, just sign up. And also, if you have a subscription, that tends to help. Also, doing a podcast league. So if you want to get into that also provides you an opportunity to get in any Razzball contest of your choosing. May your lineups be perfect, and may you win all your matchups. I will talk to you later, Greg.
All right, thanks.